some shit.
I done so much. I done so much. I done so much. I done so much.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Shitty Parents or Us podcast,
where we discuss all the shitty stuff from the perspective of
an adoptive mother
and a biological father.
My name is Brandi, and I have a 7-year-old son who's adopted.
And I'm Mr. Jamal, y'all. I have 2 biological sons, ages 20 and 8, and a set of twin daughters who are 5.
Welcome to our 4th episode.
Number 4. We've been doing this for a whole month. Can you believe it?
I know, time flies by when you're having fun.
It's moving, and we're moving with it. Yes.
How's your week been?
My week has been up and down in just 2 days. You know, it's crazy.
I agree. It feels like it's Thursday as long as, like, it's just been long.
Yeah.
It's been long.
For sure. And I mean, 2 whole days have not even fully passed yet, and it still seems long already.
Yeah.
So, you know, got some trash. Oh, I got some trash. Terrible, tremendous, ridiculous ass shit
Happening.
It's always something happening.
What you got?
You know who it's with? It's with my son.
Not my buddies.
So first off, it's with my youngest son. You know, he's doing things that's kind of out of the norm, out of the usual, and I'm just kind of like, what's going on, dude? Why are you acting so abnormal? And you know, I let a day pass, another day pass, and it's like, for you to continuously have this pattern of things happening, whether it's something at the school, whether it's something at the house, I need to find out what's what. So I try to talk to him, and he's lying. Okay, so why did you do this? I didn't. And then when I call him on it, he's like, well, I did it, but you just said that you did it. Why are you lying, dude? Like, why are you lying? I don't understand. And then I guess, you know, for whatever reason, my older son, you know, he went and got baptized in the funk this past week.
Took the plunge.
Yes.
He took the plunge.
He did not inform me. I guess he, called himself being in his bag, in his feelings, whatever the case may be. But I would have liked to, share that moment with him.
Right, because that's a moment. That is a moment, yeah.
Like, for him to do something like that on his own, it's like, bro, you gotta let me know about this. You know what I mean? I could have brought his younger siblings, could have took some pictures, could have had something to eat afterwards, whatever. But I was not informed by him. I was informed by Brandi. Thank you, okay? Because I have eyes everywhere, son. Okay, I have eyes all over the place, dog. You just never know.
And I only knew because he posted his video on Instagram, and I follow him on Instagram.
I'm on hiatus, okay? I'm on social media hiatus.
I was like, because I was like, oh snap, nephew took the plunge. I was like, that's dope. And I go send the video thinking like, we about to talk about something that we both saw, and it was like,
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know, so I felt some type of way. I'm like, well, I just talked to this dude on Saturday. So if the next day you was about to go under the water, dude, you could have easily been like, hey, listen, Dad, I don't know if you got some love tomorrow, but I have this, what's up? But
does that hurt?
In a way it does, in a way it does, because he said that come January he's going to the military. So it's like, okay, you seeming like you were trying to find your path and your identity,
right.
But when you have these moments, I want to be able to share them with you if I can, Yeah, so that's my trash for the week, my boys. Sidebar, I have some more trash.
Listen, we had to put the landfill this week with you.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, so my daughter on Saturday goes to the store. Everything's cool. Everybody can get one thing. Not so much. So my daughter, she goes to get something, and as she goes to get something, she decides, mind you, she is 5, that as she's grabbing her snack, toy, whatever, she's just going to go and use the bathroom. And I'm talking about just pee all down her leg. So my lady is like, what is going on? What happened? This is this. And it's like, oh, I tried to tell somebody. No, you didn't. You didn't try to tell nobody, okay? Who would you try to tell? And she points to some Mexican people that she don't even know. She's going to randomly just, are you following your brother's footsteps or what? I'm trying to understand. I don't get it. I'm trying to understand. I just don't get it.
Man.
And then, okay, nobody gets nothing. Everybody put everything back. Time to go. Go, leave, go to the house. Okay, listen, change. Just wait right here. I'll get you some stuff to change in. Stand right here in this restaurant. Okay, cool. Go get the stuff to change into. Come back. And she decides to take a dump on the floor in front of the toilet. What is the problem? Like, what is the problem? Like, why would you? You already know what you did at the store, and then you're gonna backdoor it with just a little bit more. Like, no, I think I can top this.
I didn't do enough.
Right, I'm going all in with this one.
Yeah, nah.
She had to pay taxes, y'all. I'm sorry. She had to pay taxes. She had to.
I don't think she deserved to pay taxes, but we've talked about this offline. I just think I think they're a little troubled by something.
Something
and
is going on.
It's hard to articulate exactly what that is. So they're acting out of the way.
And I probably didn't make it no better by, not approaching her with the calmest of tones. Probably didn't. But if I'm like, hey, what's going on? And you like, oh, snap, I know I'm in trouble, and freeze up, and now you looking like a deer in the headlights, it's not going to be good for you. But nonetheless, we got through the weekend. So from Saturday to today, these are all the events and moments that I've had. So I'm sorry I had to, extend the trash and, dump it a few times, quite a few times.
Yeah,
But
dumped it.
that's my trash for the week, y'all.
All right. Well,
What you got?
I don't have any trash.
Oh.
I don't. Not this week. I don't have anything.
Good.
It's not that it's not that my week is perfect. He just hasn't done anything that warrants trash. So yeah, hopefully we can keep going, that direction.
There you go. Keep it on the up. Rise. He's rising. Okay, he's rising.
So yesterday I text you a picture and I was like, we gotta talk about this given our topic.
Yes.
And
let's dive into it.
So it is it was on Instagram. Well, I found it on Facebook, but it came from Instagram.
Okay.
And the person posted, if I have a daughter, I wouldn't want her dad changing her.
Her dad?
Then the caption goes, so someone took it and then they took the tweet.
Okay.
It went through all the social media basically. So somebody took the tweet and was like, exactly. Her dad is not changing her diapers. I don't care. I got it. I'm not saying no, you cannot change her diapers to him. Every time she needs her diaper changed, I'm going to just say, no, I got it.
Okay, how? No. I'm not going to say no, but I'm just going to say I got it. Okay, first off, how can this work in a very successful way if say the mom works out of town for a week or a weekend?
Right.
The dad is watching the kid. Is diaper supposed to stay on the kid until mom get back home?
She gone for work 5 days. That baby got that same diaper.
If the dad is stay-at-home dad and the wife goes out and works every day, what is that dad supposed to do?
Right.
If you're taking the kid, let me get this right. So you can take your kid to a daycare and allow a stranger to change your kid.
Oh, okay.
You can allow a stranger to change your kid's diaper, but you will not let her father do it. That really sounds like something personal and internal is going on with that particular person, because mentally you have to have something warped on the inside of your mind to even think that would be okay to not only say but to post. Like, you put something like this into social media, we're like, what? Oh no!
I don't even take it from the standpoint of because you put it on social media, because nothing is sacred anymore.
It ain't safe.
Okay. My approach to this, if I have a daughter, I wouldn't want her dad changing her diaper. There's you took the more practical side.
What you going with? What you gonna say about
This, I think, comes from such a place of trauma
it?
that this person doesn't even realize it. That you have experienced some level of trauma somewhere in your life, in your childhood, that you have like formed this opinion about the like one of the few people you should have that I don't even know if it's PTSD. I'm just gonna say, I mean trauma, yeah, but there's a level of trauma that these people, this person has experienced that you would go and project that type of thought.
If these people got 20 other people that's liking this and saying
Yeah.
and then you got even more people
I mean, if a tweet make it to Instagram and it make it to Facebook, there's millions of people who have seen about this tweet. So yeah, I just go with like there's a level of trauma, and whoever started this, like you gotta go get help because you're gonna. And I'm not saying like as a parent you're gonna protect your kids.
Yeah, you can't be helicopter mom, dad. Or,
you can't. Yeah, you're gonna try to, but yeah, no, you can't be helicopter mom and dad. Like you are not gonna be with your kids every day. It is impossible to be with your kids 24 hours a day, and still be able to provide a life for them unless they found a way to never leave outside of the house.
My thing is,
yeah.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna take it a step even further because I get to thinking like, man, okay, so you mean to tell me if you have this baby, and this is a newborn baby, this is a 2-month-old baby, whatever the case may be, every time, ma'am, every time this baby goes to sleep or y'all go to sleep at night and at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the baby wakes up, you're going to be like, no, I got it. No. Don't worry. You keep on sleeping. I got it. Are you for real? I don't think she thought that all the way through. Like,
but that's my point. Like, there's a level. Like, when you experience trauma, when you experience stuff like that, no, you don't really think stuff all the way through. But this ties into what we're talking about today. We're talking about dating and relationships when you have kids, and this furthers the other point. Like, who y'all be having kids with, or who do y'all be with?
Who y'all be around?
Who y'all be around that you will have that thought and that idea. And so, and I'm saying that thought and idea because in the comments, people were like, yeah, because I don't want nobody to rape or molest my child. And I'm like, whoa. And
from a diaper change, you got to be joking.
And this is not saying that I'm not aware that there have been men who fathered kids and they have molested or raped their kids. I'm not excluding that. We know that happens. But my thing is that you already have that idea about the person that you chose, that you went into an agreement with to have a kid with.
My thing is, now, I could see her saying something like that if it was not the kid's father. I could see, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's right. Like, I could see that. But you saying that even with the kid's dad, like, this kid has these genes and hereditary and DNA, excuse me, set up in this kid. So you mean to tell me that, no, I don't want you checking. What?
If you can form this thought about your kid's father, then I question you. Yeah, I'll question him later, but I question you because again, I question you first because you made an agreement to enter a partnership, an 18-year partnership with this person, at minimum 18 years. But you did this, like you made this choice. So I question you. I'll question him later, but I question you first. Like this is crazy to me.
Now, maybe this lady's mom or whoever, maybe, this lady was either neglected or something happened to her, like you said, to kind of piggyback on what you said, to experience the trauma to where maybe she feels like that about any man, regardless if it's a dad or whomever, changing the kid's diaper. Because if you were saying that about the dad, then you mean to tell me that it's okay for your uncle to do it? It's okay for your grandpa to do it. It's okay for anybody and everybody else, but not that.
Like, I'm still saying, like, I don't, if you have that thought process about the child's father, or that you just think off a GP, somebody gonna hurt my child, like, you gotta go evaluate. You gotta figure out what happened to you, why you got that thought process, why do you have that thought process?
Yeah, you gotta fix that.
And you gotta fix that, because you then project those fears onto that child. That kid knows nothing about. Like, you project that, yeah, you start that. So then you just got, then you're gonna start this cycle of warped thinking, negative thinking, toxic thinking towards men. That is not okay. So that just goes, like we were saying, this is the topic for today, talking about dating and relationships. Like, when you have kids, and obviously we're talking about dating and relationships with people other than your kids' biological parents or whatever.
Right.
So has that been a challenge for you?
Dating and being in a relationship with me having children and me dating or being in a relationship with someone who has children. At first it was kind of challenging. I think because it's, something newly introduced to not only us but also the children. You know what I mean? So it's like you're gonna have to either make sure that you're consistent with how you're doing things and know that when or if, well, I'm gonna say when I did introduce my kids to my lady, like I did not, it wasn't like, okay, a week before that or a month before that they had met somebody else and 2 months before that they met. I was very, very, very selective, and whenever she met my kids, and they met her, like she took them in with, open arms, you know what I'm saying? She embraced my kids embraced her, and vice versa, So now it's like, okay, her kids digging me, my kids digging her, all right, cool. Now it's like we have to see what the kids are interacting like between each other. You know what I mean? Now, kids are gonna be kids, so you're gonna have the little, fussing, the bickering, the back and forth, things of that nature. But in that same sense, I feel like as long as we're keeping it consistent and they know what the foundation is, then guess what? The love is going to form there and it's going to be endless.
Just the dating stage. Okay. Like, how complex was it? Like, you meet SB, right? You like her, there's mutual interest there, and y'all like, all right, let's scope this out. Let's date. Let's see what this is like.
Between us first.
Yeah. So how does that work? And y'all both have kids. Like, go back there. Not so much from the established part, because we'll get to the established relationship part. Like, go back to two single people with kids trying to date. Like, go back that far.
Okay.
What was that like? Like, how complex or not complex was it?
Well, it was complex in the beginning, but I felt like, we kind of had this determination and we're like, you know what, we're going to just try to make this work. So at first, we just kind of go with the flow, and it's more one-on-one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you have one-on-one time in the beginning, everything is, hey, butterflies, everything is, oh yeah, feeling on top of the world, cloud nine is beneath me, all these type of things, And so you can kind of get adjusted to that, but, I appreciate, her for just kind of bringing things into perspective and saying, hey, listen, I'm feeling this, I'm digging this, I'm loving, our time together, this, and this. But we got to make sure that we are, keeping everything in perspective and keeping things realistic as far as we have to expand the bubble. You know what I mean? Like, you had a world that you were living in before I met you. I had a world that I was living in before I met you. And so, being that, yes, we have this bubble to where it's like me and you are having a lot of one-on-one time, well, we have to make sure that we incorporate the kids, we incorporate the family, we incorporate, everybody to where it actually comes together and it blends.
Oh, so that came up for y'all kind of early, like the idea of like starting to mesh things. That kind of happened for y'all kind of early?
I'm saying probably like within the first 100 days. You know what I'm saying? So, 90 days, 3 months, you know what I mean? Like, so in those first 2.5 3 months, like it was a lot of me and her time. And like I told her, I'm like, listen, you know, it's gonna take me a minute, you know, to kind of introduce you to my kids because I want to make sure that we rock a solid and we rock a steady enough before I actually present that to them. You know what I mean? Because kids, they harbor things differently. You know what I mean? If I was to, hey, introduce her within the first 30 days, and then by the 45th day, it just kind of went down the drain. Now my kids looking at me like, well, what happened to this?
Right. That's the part of like when you get in a relationship and y'all break up, because that's what happened for me and Michael. Like when you break up, like that person, that kid misses that person, and I think for me that's the part that like bother me probably more so than the breakup because my kid is like looking, like my kid is looking for you, like he saw you almost every day. So like you have to be selective, extremely selective. Like I can go on and say on record and say like of the men I've dated, my child has been one, like one person.
And that's what I'm saying, like because like it comes.
And that's when we were in a relationship,
right? It comes to a point to where it's like you're not out here just trying to date. You know what I'm saying? Like
you can so you don't think you can casual date and
but not introduce your kid?
You definitely got to keep that separate. Right. Yeah, no.
And I mean, the reason I said like the dating is because I feel like you know, in my eyes, you know, the angle that I'm going about it is this: you don't just date to date. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's casual, now you on the other hand, you know what I'm saying? Your story might be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But for me, you know what I'm saying? As for me, Mr. Jamal, y'all, like I'm dating to, you know, see.
You're dating for a purpose.
Yeah, I'm dating to see what's what. And even, you know, I went on dates and, you know, talked to people, whatever. Like, I just didn't really get snatched up.
Right,
like how I did whenever I met SB, man, you know. So it's like, it was different. And so I'm like, okay, maybe can just be, you know, infatuation or this, but it's almost like how steady we be rocking. It's like, okay. So as much as she feels like she had to be guarded in the beginning, I kind of felt that same way. You know what I mean? Because I mean, hey, if you done got screwed over before, or you done sit up there and put all your eggs in one basket, and you done got let down, or you done got taken advantage of, or whatever the case was, like you kind of gotta side eye people and kind of gotta see what their intentions are.
No, for real.
You have trust issues, like you know what I'm saying. So it's almost like if you have those in the beginning, I promise you, you have to either be comfortable enough with somebody to be even more comfortable with yourself to where you can put your guards down, or if you're just not feeling that and you're not moved to drop them, then guess what? They gonna always be on the up. Like, man, listen.
And there's a balance thing with that. Like, you can't try and introduce them too early,
right?
And you can't try to introduce them too late because you two may form a relationship, and then you try to introduce the kids in the mix, and it's like they don't mix, and so you're like, yeah, we gotta throw this whole thing away.
Yep.
Because my kid won't ever get to say, oh, my mama chose this dude over me. Yeah, he won't ever get to say that. Like, the moment my kid has an issue, if we get to the point and I've made the introduction with my son to whomever Joe Blow is, and he is like, yeah, mama, yeah, like, I don't feel him.
He was cool. I just don't feel that dude. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, why? And he can give me honestly, it ain't even got to be legit. Well, I'm saying it ain't got to be, but like it can't be like, oh, mom, I don't like the shoes he wore. Like, it can't be nothing.
He smells too strong. You know what I'm saying?
It can't be nothing like that. But if we just talking about, like, mom, I just got a bad, like, he can tell me, I got a bad vibe with him. Just blow you out. Gotta go.
I can kill it. You know what I'm saying? I can kill it because, like, I gotta be, if I'm really gonna, consider having something long term and longevity with you, off the rip, if I introduce you to my kid, they have to feel, and I'm not saying, instantaneous just gravitation, but they have to feel something to where it's like, oh yeah, I like this person. Now, if they're saying that, Okay, that's gonna put me at ease. Now it's almost like, okay, all of our cards are on the table. The benefit of the doubt has been given to you. Just don't sit up there and do anything to make me take that back. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me revoke your benefits. You see what I'm saying? Like, for real. So I feel like if I introduce my kids and if I'm rocking with you and my kids feeling you, okay, listen, I just gotta make sure that we on the same level, and then hey, the guards are down and everybody's feeling how they're supposed to be feeling.
Okay, so like, what does that? Okay, so let's go back before I ask my other question. Like, what determines when? What determined that you would introduce the kids to SB and SB would introduce her kids to you? Like, when did y'all like? I think it's time we go ahead and make the introduction. Like, how did that happen?
I mean, we had a lot of like a little bit more than a lot of conversation and communication. You know what I mean? So it was like we was pretty much inseparable on the phone. You know, through text message. I mean, even when we didn't see each other, it was almost like we saw each other because we FaceTime and we were doing all this. And so in doing that, you know, her kids would be in the background and be like, oh, hey, I want to say hi. And then my kids would be, oh, I want to say hi. And so it was like, okay, we did that, you know, for about a month and a half, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to, I wanted to say, like, this trampoline park. You know what I mean? Hey, you want to go bring kids over here? All right, that's fine, you know, cool. All right, now it's not something that doesn't feel like you just kind of pushed or forced your kids upon something, but it's almost like when the introduction actually comes and it's a face to face, it's almost like, oh hey, I remember you. This, so now they have something to go by. I feel like it's those type of small steps that you can take to prepare the kid for what it is that they're going to receive. Because even if on the phone or FaceTime they all waving and stuff like that, but then they get around and they're like, oh, you don't have the same type of vibe that I was feeling over the phone. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we, lightly introduced them before we officially introduced them face to face.
Yeah, I got you. Mine was a little different.
How was yours?
Michael met my ex on accident. Like, it was completely on accident. He had came by, just coming by to say, hey, Michael was in the bed because y'all know my child go to bed at 7:30. So he was just coming by, say, hey, speak, whatever, like that. And Michael happened to get up, which was weird because Michael sleeps through the night.
Right.
He happened to get up, and so we're sitting in the living room, and he walked in, and Michael was like,
who's this dude? What's this dude doing? You know what I'm saying? Why is he here? Who is him?
And so I get up and go put him back in the bed or whatever. He goes to sleep, and I didn't say anything. Let him think it was a dream.
Right. He reminded you.
He had a dream, too. He just had a dream.
Nah. What you thought you saw, you didn't
see. And so then, maybe a day or so later, he was like, Mama, who was that? Like, who was that?
See?
And we kind of had another little stimulus situation. But he was like, Mama, who is that? And I was like, playing dumb. Who is who? That man, that guy.
He know.
And so I was like, oh, that's a friend of mine, blah, blah, blah. And you go through all of that. And he was like, oh, is he coming over our house again? And then at that point, that's when you have the conversation
it's
maybe, maybe he may come by again. And that's when you sit down and talk to him. He was like, hey, I'm like, hey, it's a guy I met. I like him. We're friends.
What's up?
You might get a chance to meet him again.
Right.
And so then that changes the dynamic of what our conversation or what you and your partner's conversation become.
Now, what about, because that was on your end with Michael, didn't he have kids? Does he have kids?
Yeah, he has a son.
So how was that as far as the introduction for you and his son?
Well, that one was a little different because his son lives out of state. And so it wasn't it was literally going to be planned that interaction would happen. I think the first time, it was 4th of July maybe, a few years ago, that we made that introduction. But for me, I was like, hey, I need you to clear that with his mom.
Okay.
I need you to make sure
Just making
that
sure the position
woman to woman,
yeah.
make sure she's okay
Right.
with your kid, with y'all's kids being around me and my kid. Like, let's.
Now was this way before? I mean, this had to be after he met Michael.
Yeah, this was way. By this point, like when
Michael already had a relationship.
Yeah, by this point, him and Michael was already building a relationship. Yeah, so like when I met his son, oh man, it was. I mean, way down the line, like months way down the line. Like I said, his son lived out of state. So, and right off, I mean, like we had a decent relationship. Like,
y'all hit it off pretty good.
Yeah, we hit it off pretty good. Him and Michael hit it off better than anyone. Like they were like.
How many years apart were they?
Two, like 2.5. Probably not even, barely two. Yeah, barely two. Somewhere about the two. So like they immediately hit it off, and I mean like from day one up until like they was like stoked to see each other. Like it was a big deal when they saw each other. So yeah, no. So that's how that situation happened. I think like going forward, first of all, like anybody that meet my kid, that's because we serious about what we're trying to pursue. Nobody gets to no, and granted, like that situation, at least I thought that was going to be a long term, very much indefinite, permanent situation, if you will. But life happens, right? So, going forward, like nobody gets to me because my child's heart was broken, and if you, like I said, that was the only man Michael was ever around. So in Michael's eyes, that's like my dad. Like this is the guy I see at one point he saw him every day. Yeah, this is his father figure. So at one point, like that's how he looked at him, and so that breakup brought heartbreak for him too because he spent. And even now in conversation, depending on what we're doing, that might strike up something and he remembers like, hey, I remember when we did such and such. And so the next person that I introduced my kid to, oh yeah, we headed to the altar gates, like, cause I'm not gonna subject my child to that again. Like I just won't, cause it made a already hard breakup harder, if you will. So yeah, I would like going forward for me, it would have to be outside of, like I said, it was an accident in how they met. So it was never intentional for them to meet at our house. Like that was never the intention. Going forward though, it's gonna be a whole lot of like, hey, come meet us at the park. Hey, come meet us over here. Like, hey, come meet us over there. And at some point, it's gonna be like, why this dude always around?
Right. You're gonna start putting two together.
Let's go grab an ice cream cone. We
always go have snacks and go to the park, and he's there. Is this a coincidence?
He popped up, right? That is so weird. Yeah, so.
Kids, they listen. Kids say the darndest things. Kids think the darndest things. Kids are very highly intellectual, and we give them not as much credit as they deserve. And I say that because it's like I said with the vibe, you know what I mean? The kid gonna feel the vibe, you know what I'm saying? If the vibe is just not there, the vibe is just not there. I also feel like it has something to do with myself and probably even you know what I'm saying, as far as just discernment, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I'm a pretty good judge of character, you know what I'm saying? So with that, it's almost like I'm not just gonna be out here with a scallywag and over here with the, are you sure that you with this? Nah,
listen, we all got some characters in our back pocket, but all of them characters, you don't get to meet my kid. Like, you better hope you even know I have a kid. Like, and it goes back to your purpose for dating. Like, let's address the purpose of dating. Like, depending on what that situation is, dude, that situation is just that situation. You get what I give you. Like,
and I promise you
the information I give you.
It's funny that you say that because, like, it was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 months before I was able to come to my lady's house. She was like, yeah, I know, we go here and meet, you know what I'm saying, at Starbucks, we can go over here. And I'm like, okay, come to the house. Come what? No. I'm not ready. You know, I'm not ready to, you know, she said, nobody's been to my house, you know what I mean? And I mean, I see and I understand, you know, because you know, she runs a very tight knit circle, you know what I'm saying, with her and her kids, you know what I'm saying. So to introduce somebody like that, is going to expand their circle, if you will, but then also expand the family unit and the family circle
Right.
as far as okay, so what we doing with this? You know what I'm saying? Like either you gonna poop or get off the pot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like which one you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So if I'm introducing you to something like this, just know that I'm taking you very seriously.
Right.
Just know that I'm, you
Right.
know, I'm looking at you way different. I'm looking at, you know, a very, very strong future with you because this is not something that I do. You see what I'm saying? Like my kids can't say, "Oh yeah, I met this person, I met this person." No.
Oh, okay.
No. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like
Yeah.
no. And the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? No, not at all. Because I feel like if you have a spirit of discernment, you're gonna be able to, you know, weed out what's good, what's bad. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time. And B, like if you are just a person with a sound mind and sound character, then I promise you, I don't feel like that's going to be drawn to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like you're going to magnetize something that's going to be of your demise, if you will. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you got when you say that, but you have those people who get involved in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the moment they get with that person, then their kids like just somehow just go clean outside their mind, and you like, how the heck you allow this person to come in and alter the relationship that you have with your kids? Like we see it every day, or we hear about it at least every day.
But that's why I feel like if you're going to do something like that and share your world with somebody, then you also have to make sure that you're not making your kid feel left out. You're not making your kid feel like, you know, they're not getting the same amount of attention, if not more. Because hey, guess what? I have somebody who wants to give you that attention that I was giving you, so it's almost like you're getting double attention or something like that. Now, if you got somebody who you're head over heels with, but they don't really involve themselves or have any type of interaction with your kid, then that's almost gonna make your kid be like, oh, I hate this person. Oh, why is this person over here? Every time they come over here, you start acting different, mom
Yeah.
or dad, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with that, you have to make sure things does not falter or does not, you know, alter itself based on how you are responding or behaving to your kids because, you know, you have these googly eyes and all you can see is this person. You have to make sure that, you know, you operate the way that you were prior to this person coming into your life. And now that you're having this person involved in your life with the kids, now let's go ahead and just catapult it and spring up and elevate it even higher, you know?
How do you think of like some telltale signs that this is a person you could introduce your kids to?
Communication, consistency, and consideration. You know, communication, consistency, and consideration, man. You know, triple C, man. You know, shout out to Ricky Ross. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I feel like, you know, if you're consistent in your behavior, okay, then this got to be you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a representative can only show themselves for so long before the real you is exposed. Um, Communication. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Like let's talk about it. Let's put it out there. Let's, you know, have discussions on this. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling up, if you're feeling great, if you're feeling blue, whatever the case may be, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And consideration, like consider the stuff that we are communicating about, and I want you to not just take it to your head or take it to your ears, but take it to your heart. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, if you know you take it into your heart, and that's where you know the spring of all the love and the flow and the feelings and all that stuff come from, then guess what? I feel like we have a definite way of okay, guard being let down, me being all the way vulnerable, me being open, me, you know, actually taking this into very, very strong consideration to where, hey, we're gonna go from the dating phase to the relationship phase, to the engagement phase, to the marriage phase, to the let's rock this thing out to the wheels fall off and the doggone screws break and everything else phase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That way. So yeah, no, but for real though, like that's for me, that's what is a very big key, and I feel like I know I keep on going back and talking about this later, but I feel like she really had like a set of keys that fit like every lock that I had. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell her I said that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because she's not gonna listen to this tomorrow when it go live.
Because people, can just tell everything. You know what I'm saying? Just tell everything. But nah, but like yeah, like I feel like if you can talk about it, then you can move forward. If you can consider somebody else's feelings in something, then you can definitely straighten something out. And if you can be consistent with your actions, with your ways, with your behaviors, with your communication and consistency, guess what? Everything else will be on the rise, like the sun.
Agreed. Agreed.
What about for you?
For me, like, of course, communication and consistency. Otherwise, if communication and consistency wasn't present, then we obviously wouldn't even be talking about that much at all. What we doing? So those two things kind of go without saying. I think that's the expected. Even if the conversation of moving past a dating phase and
considering.
Yeah, even considering the conversation that you meet my child. So obviously those things are already in place. I think for me, one of the signs is that you take an interest in my kids.
Yes.
Like before you even get a chance to meet them.
Right.
Like meet him. Like you take an interest in how was his day, how was this, how was that. Like you take an interest in what my kid has going on.
Yes.
Lets me know that not only are you involved in me, but engaged in me, but you're engaged in my package deal, so to speak.
Right.
So I think that is one, and then two, the idea or even the mentioning of trying to incorporate your life into our life, like the desire to want to do that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, yo, let me just come. Like, I'm not saying you jumping in head first. What I'm saying is the idea or the mentioning of you wanting the desire to be there, to incorporate our worlds together.
Now, what do you feel like is something that you think is like qualifications? What qualifies a guy to meet those certain standards or certain expectations that you have? Because I mean, if in the beginning, the first 2-3 months, what I'm saying, this dude is chopping it up and tossing it up, and then y'all do have that conversation to where it's like, okay, well we think about taking it to the next step, doing the relationship thing. You come over here, you stay over here, I stay over your house, however the case may be. And now all of a sudden, it's as though it seems like a level of complacency, if you will, has settled in, and now this dude is comfortable with. I don't really gotta communicate all the time. Without, if I do communicate, it can be with 1 or 2 word answers, and it's like, but that's not who you fell for. You see what I'm saying? That's not who you involved yourself with. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like if people make sure that they are doing things to just kind of keep their mind, keep their mind fluent and flowing, then I feel like there won't be any type of stale or stagnant air between somebody in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just my thoughts. You know what I mean? And I know that sometimes people don't want to talk. It's like, man, I don't want to talk about it. Right, you know what I'm saying? I get that. So what is your view and your perspective on that angle of things?
Wait, what's the question?
Okay, so if you have somebody and y'all are, considering the relationship thing, taking it to that level, and you stay at their house, they stay at your house, vice versa, however, whatever. But then you start seeing the slacking or the lacking of the communication that was once there. Okay. How do you go about executing your next moves as far as, okay, what we doing? You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like, and this is just my opinion, I don't feel like that's a sign of, okay, I got to sit up there and go, all bets are off, I'm out.
You asking Brand or you asking
I'm-
Brandi?
That's a trick.
A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of
It's
people don't
two
know
of you.
that. It's
Yeah,
two of me.
yeah.
Who we
Right,
asking,
right.
Brand or Brandi?
For the viewers, for the listeners' sake, Brand. I'm gonna go Brand. Like give them raw. Cause see, Brand gonna be raw and uncut. Like Brand she ain't gonna clean it up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be straight rugged edges. Go ahead.
So like, we gonna talk about it. Like, yeah, we gonna talk about it.
Now, if you're trying to talk about it and you get, say, an attitude, or, hey, you know what I'm saying, I ain't tripping, they're trying to, like, you know, push it off, you know what I mean? But you feel like, but you don't really talk to me like you used to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really compliment me like you used to. You don't really, you know, hang out, or we don't have quality time, or, you know, even the way that, you know, they might touch you, you know what I'm saying, is different, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was talking about as far as the complacency. Like, how do you avoid something getting stale or something getting stagnant when, you know, you started off so well and you considered having a longevity with this person? So how do you avoid that?
You can't avoid it.
You can't?
You can't. I don't think you can avoid it. Relationships they're gonna have their ebbs and flows. And like, you may hit
Peaks and valleys?
yeah, you're gonna have it, and you might hit a low point, and you're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. And
Now my thing is this, I feel like, and it's just me, you know, fellas, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like women gonna talk more in a relationship than they do. I mean, and I say that like if you come home, understand, if you come home and your lady is like, oh babe, how was your day today? You might be like, oh, it was cool, it was good, it was straight. And that might be all that you get from a dude. With a woman, oh, how was your day, babe? Oh, it was good, and such did this, and they did that, and they did
oh, you know, I'm not really wired that way.
And so it's like, ooh, okay. So for you to say, oh, we're gonna talk about it, I feel like if a dude is saying, nah, everything good, even when you feel like, well, the communication is not as strong as it once was, now all of a sudden you feeling some type of way, but he said that he's good, that's almost like not a good enough answer.
Well, the thing is because I'm wired a little different, and depending on the situation, my day was good. It kind of works for me because I might give you that same answer for the day. That is just the honest truth. I'm not always ready for a dissertation conversation type. Yeah, I just don't feel like it. Today was an eye day. Today was a good day, depending on the situation. So
now, what about if they say that, but you feel like that, and then the kid is like, "Mama, you tripping?" You see what I'm saying? Like, cause I mean,
my dad would tell me I'm tripping. He gonna fall.
He gonna.
He gonna.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping. Oh,
I'm tripping.
You must need a bag. Okay, here you go. Take a trip. Cause I'm tripping.
Nah.
Cause I mean, like, and I feel like that right there in itself.
And you're talking about when you incorporate that other person, right?
Right.
When you incorporate the other person.
You say consider. You know, my whole thing was you're considering taking it to that level to where it's like, okay, well, yeah, we've been dating long enough. You know, I'm thinking about taking it to the next level. Okay, now that you did that, and we're just gonna say 3 or 4 nights out of the week, you know, he's at your house and you're at his house, but yet, you know, your kid is around all these times.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, I don't know, maybe on the second or third day that he's there, you know, 3 weeks into y'all doing this, now you're like, you kind of tripping. Because you are feeling some type of way. Now then your kid's like, oh, what you talking about? He been acting the same. He been chilling with me. Everything been good. But now all of a sudden you feeling like, nah, I know what I feel.
See?
I know this and this. Because that's the thing. Like, I feel like people, for whatever reason, for the sake of keeping their relationship happy or whatnot, will try to mute their intuition as opposed to addressing something that they feel. So
women do it all day.
So it's like, why are you feeling like this? Why? And now all of a sudden, dang, I thought we was good. Why we got all these questions? Now all of a sudden, you get the second guess, and now all of a sudden, you start to, you know, take the scab off of the trust issues. Now all of a sudden, you overthinking. Now all of a sudden, so it's almost like you would cause something that really can be avoided and prevented if you were just mindful of how you go about doing things. So if you keep yourself intact, you keep yourself in check, then I promise you, any type of thought that might come to your head like that, you can just be like, nah.
I feel like the situation that you're bringing up is because the lack of communication somewhere. Number one. Number two, I think that goes from stuff you consider red flags, and because you got the all warms and feelies about this person, you overlook them. Two. And three, we've talked about this before. Jada Pinkett said this on the red table. Do not cause an internal war with yourself because you don't know. No, it wasn't Jada. It was Melissa Fredericks from the Love Hour podcast. Said we tend to create an internal war with ourselves to avoid having confrontation or to appear to be confrontational in a relationship. I think that's where what you're referring to stems from. But to your point about y'all at the point now, y'all see each other almost every day, and now you feel like there's a level of complacency because y'all like merging and then y'all kind of stop. Is that what you're getting at? Yeah, I just think I think y'all missed the mark somewhere. Like the expectation, like what you thought, like most women, and I'm going to use women in the example. You met your kids, you make that introduction, and y'all rocking, and out of nowhere, like y'all stop doing the little family things, or y'all stop doing that stuff.
That's why I said you got stagnant.
You got stagnant. So we're gonna talk about it. Like, let's figure out what happened at what point in your brain, and that's not to say like
it's a bad thing to talk about.
No, it's not a bad thing to talk about. Like, help me understand, like, and maybe it could have been one of those things, like maybe y'all set the bar so high, y'all ain't had nowhere else to go. Like, y'all was out here doing
everything,
all the family events,
like,
Monday, Sunday through Saturday, and you ain't leave no time to just breathe or whatever, and then all of a sudden everybody on burnout, and now you thinking something wrong. It's like, nah, it's like, y'all was doing too much.
A lot, you know what I'm saying? We did a lot.
Doing too much.
We did a lot. Okay.
So, but that just tells me that somewhere along the way, y'all started moving too fast. Because you went from y'all dated, y'all in a relationship, you met the kids, now y'all staying at each other's house a couple of nights a week, and now you're on burnout. It's like, yo, y'all done did a lot. Like, you've done a lot.
So let me ask you this. So if you get to a place of being on burnout, how do you refuel? How do you refuel without the other person feeling some type of way, or without the other person feeling like, damn, I just want to just take a break for a little bit. Not a break from you per se, but a break for
the responsibility. We all want the break from the responsibilities that we have, but that's where date nights come into play. That's where.
Okay. So you just kind of recreate and resurrect your relationship.
Yeah, you have to do that. Like, you have to. Like, there is no way you're going to maintain a healthy relationship with your kids. And there's even some points you gotta be like, hey, look, Joe Blow. Hey, look, Sarah Blow. Like, we've seen a lot of each other. I need to spend some time with my child. It comes to the point where you're gonna have to do that too. Like, we've been doing so much together. I feel like, my kid needs to see just me today, or I think my kid needs to we need to do this activity together. Like, you have to be okay with that. Like, we get so caught up in being in a relationship that we forget the things, our life, our patterns that we were doing before this other person came into it. And that's usually where the burnout comes. It's like you running trying to keep up with a schedule that was never your schedule to begin with. And I'm not saying like you're not supposed to incorporate this third party or fourth or fifth party into your new mix. I'm like, you got to do that slowly and let it be done naturally, organically. Like, the human nature is to desire companionship, is to desire to be with somebody. I don't believe we're supposed to be on this world alone by ourselves. I don't believe that. And so we get to a place where we desire that so much that we forget what we were doing before this other person came in the mix. And when you do that, it opens, and you don't communicate, and you try to like rush through that process. That's where you open the door, so to speak, for burnout. It's just like, you're going too fast. You're tired. Calm down, bro.
Slow that thing.
Yeah. So I think that's more so where that comes from. Yeah. Okay. But that goes back to, why are you dating? Set your expectations in dating. when y'all get to the point where you think you want to go into relationships, set your expectations for this relationship. Look, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like we can hang, like when y'all get to that point, the kids will make the introduction, you make the introduction with each other, and y'all rock it. This kid know who this person is, and blah, y'all building relationships, blah blah blah. Hey, look, Joe Blow, like we gonna have date night on Friday, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to spend time with my child alone. Um, or okay, you can come over, or we'll come to you, or whatever on Mondays and Wednesdays, and you can help do homework time. Like whatever that looks like for you and your family in that situation that y'all are creating, you have to be mindful to continue to keep you can't, in the midst of you dating, you can't just blow up the kids' routine and expect no backlash to come like that out. You cannot blow a kid, especially kids as young as our youngest kids. Right. Makai's a little different in your situation. He's grown. Right. But for our younger kids, you can't just throw them in the mix and blow up their spot and don't think you're going to get any like retaliation back from that.
I feel like everybody want the next day package delivered, man. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it's okay to take the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to, you know, take the ground. And when I say that, like if you take the ground, then I promise you, you're doing a lot of footwork. You're doing a lot of leg work. You're doing a lot of okay. Let me, you know what I'm saying, take these steps. Let me, you know what I'm saying, go about it like this, as opposed to flying over here. Okay, did this now, flying over. That's almost the what I was using. The next day air package as opposed to the ground package.
And have you noticed next day air packages are usually more tattered and beat up than the ground ones?
And expensive.
And expensive. And expensive. So that just goes back to if you allow the relationship with you and your partner, your partner, and the kids to naturally develop, like that package could be so much more beautiful when it fully develops to all that it's going to be, or when it's delivered to your doorstep. It's not going to cost you so much mentally, spiritually. Yeah, you're allowed to manifest. It's not going to cost you that much spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's going to cost you, but just not as much.
Now,
if you brush past it and
let me
skip
ask you
the stuff.
Now, when you're doing that in a relationship, you have a kid. It's kind of hard to for some people. Let me say it's kind of hard to kind of go about things with a crock pot mentality, if you will, when it's almost like we live in a microwave society.
We do.
So, I mean, everything has to be instantly gratified. You know what I mean? You have prime that deliver same day or the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want everything like right now, right now. You know what I mean? So how do you go about, you know, okay, functioning that way in society, but then in a relationship you kind of have to make sure that you put the pause for the cause on, or you pump your brakes long enough to where, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of cruise on into something. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to drag race it up in there, but you can actually cruise on into something, and it's almost like you can appreciate it more.
It goes back to the reason y'all even make that it goes to the first conversation y'all had after the initial exchange, whether you met them at the coffee shop, the grocery store, online, whatever that looks like for you. Like after when you get to the heart of that first conversation, like what you looking for, that's where you'll establish that at. Like that when you establish the reason why you're doing what you're doing, then you can dial it back and not put it in a microwave versus letting it like put it in the crock pot. To use your analogies, like when you remember what the long term goal is, then you can with self, you can help yourself with that. Like you ain't trying to rush it. Like if you know the long term goal with what you want at the end of the day is marriage, then you know you got this gonna take a minute. You're not finna go walk down the aisle next week. So chill out and enjoy the ride, because that's what it's about to be.
So basically, what I'm hearing you saying is like, if you know your why, then you'll know where your where is going to be as far as like, listen, you know what I mean? Well, I know why I'm doing this because I know where we will be in 5 years. Well, I know why I'm doing this, so I know, you know what I'm saying, where we would have built or where we would have gone, because, hey, like you just said, you know, I'm not in a rush, snap finger, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Let's hurry up and make something happen because at the end of the day, guess what? As adults, we can sit up there and move fast like that, but guess what? If we have small kids,
Yeah, you
they
can't.
don't like they
That's what
ain't
I'm
gonna
saying. You
understand.
can't
Like,
blow up that spot
yeah,
and then
yeah.
think everything is
Like,
gonna
come
be
on, let's go
okay.
fast with me. Let's go.
Like,
The
nah,
kid
you
like,
can't.
dude, listen,
Like, what?
I don't even. I don't even know how to skate. Why you gotta be a skateboard? I don't even know how to skate.
For real.
You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like,
for real. Like, that's literally how it goes. But it goes back to my point of like people want companionship or they desire relationship so much that like they'll even forget. Oh, I was just dating just to get to get my foot back
Right.
out in the water. And
To
then
pass some time.
to pass some time. And 3 weeks later, you in a relationship. You like, whoa.
Right. What did I do?
Like you wound up in a relationship on accident, yo. Like you said you wouldn't even finna do all this.
But then it's almost like you can sit up there and be in a relationship too fast, and now all of a sudden you didn't crash, and now all of a sudden your relationship is on life support. So it's like,
well, yeah, because neither one of y'all walked into this with the intention. Y'all was walking into this to get out the house, and now here y'all looking at each
drunk
other
in love.
like,
You know what I'm saying? Drunk in love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
for
got
real, you like,
intoxicated off
how we
each other.
even get here? We were supposed to go have a drink, and that's it.
Right.
Here we
We
are.
done had a drink and then eloped. Like,
No.
what is the deal? Like, what is going on?
No,
man?
for real. Like, for real. Like, you got, like, before you even think about remotely closer, even asking your kids to meet somebody or somebody to meet your kids, remember why you even started out talking to this person at all. And even before you start dating, find out what your intention in dating is altogether.
Right.
Because truth be told, be honest with yourself. Sometimes this might be, I'm tired of being in the house on Friday, Saturday night.
Right.
I
need some adult time.
Yeah, I need some adult time. I need
Yeah.
some adult interaction. Like, and if that's the case, let that be the case. And if you're saying, okay, yeah, I'm ready now to like settle down, that's okay too. But be clear about your intentions and your decisions because you might wind up dealing with some stuff you was never supposed to start dealing with from the get go. You just got in the middle of the situation and it looked cute, and you know switched up. Like you weren't even looking for a babe. Now you got a husband and some other kids. You done acquired his kids. And you like, I was just going out for a drink.
I was just walking my dog. You know what I'm saying? I was just walking my dog, man. My dog got to sniffing around this doggone house, man. What's going on?
Y'all done moved in together and you're like,
what happened? What's going on? What happened? This was kind of just like popped up on you. Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, I'm deleting that. I'm deleting that out of there. I'm deleting that part out of there. I won't play myself like that.
Man.
But no.
But yeah, man, like, to just like put a whole, cap on everything, I feel like, relationships and, the dating, with kids, that is something to like really, really be mindful and very, very serious about. Like, if you out here, and not knowing, it takes some more time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't hop into a relationship or don't hop into dating just for the sake of it. Because, I mean, hey, there's too many weirdos out here, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on. They could be, crazily presented to your kids. And it's like, you didn't see it, but now it's almost like, everything is all good and fine and dandy in front of you. But then when you ain't looking, they might, pinch your kid or make the kid feel like something. Or, I can't stand you or say, look, and like that right there could be something like traumatizing and terrifying for a kid.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, well, they make, my parent happy, so I don't want to ruin their happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was saying about kids being like real intelligent, because it's almost like kids can be considerate and mindful enough to where it's like, well, I don't want to, mess up what you have, you know what I mean, for the sake of me trying to say something. So hopefully it'll get better. And now, 2 or 3 years done passed, and it's like it has worsened to the max, to where it's almost like you didn't even know that this person couldn't stand your kid, because in front of you they display a level of smiles and Hallmark cards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of the choices. Just be mindful of making sure that you present the right thing to your kids. Feed off of your kids' energy or their vibe. If they feeling something, they're picking up something different than what it is you're feeling or what you're introducing. And just be mindful, man. Like that's my, yeah, I kind of like brought that tip but you know what I'm saying, tip, tricks, and steals,
Steals,
like, and,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, blended. So I feel like that's my tip for the week, you know what I'm saying, as far as the topic of discussion.
Mine would be, this is my final thought and my tip, trick, and steal. It was a conversation that started on Facebook with that friend of mine, and it
From
works. No, it had nothing to do with the earlier conversation. It was a random question she asked, and it kind of ties all with this. Basically, story goes, the lady she was casual dating, and she would write down the guy's name and whatever description in her little black book. And she wound up getting killed by one of the guys that she was dating. They were able to go find her, track her murderer, because she was keeping record. So my tip, trick, and steal, and I do this, but I don't probably do it as much as I should, or I haven't done it all the time. This is not just for ladies. This is men too. Like, as you're meeting people here, there, everywhere, and you choose to go out on a date with them, make sure somebody knows.
Right.
Where you going and who you with at face value, and when you get there and when you back home, like at just face value, just as a way to make sure you are protecting yourself in these streets. And all right, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Shitty Parents or Us.
Tune in, hit the thumbs up for the likes on all social media platforms. Y'all know what it is, man. Until next week, man. Love.